They're capable of deep reflection, open debate, and argumentation. Okay? And this is why the Jews are so creative. Okay? Any questions, guys? Okay. All right.
I don't know much about Bible. So Bible is a collection of different stories and poems, right?
Yeah.
And so the common feature of these stories are I can't really tell the common feature between this story and the previous story about Rachel and Leah.
Okay, all right. Okay, so that's a good question, okay? So let's go over some basic introduction to the Bible, okay? Okay, so the Bible, it's a library, okay? Bible means books in Greek. So it's a library. And it's composed of 3 major parts. The first is what's called the Tanakh. It's a Torah, okay? So it's the first 5 books of the Bible, okay? Second is the historical books, history. And then you got the writings, okay, which include poetry. Okay, so the problem with the Bible is that it was actually constructed much later than the time of David. Okay, so David was about 1000 BC, around this time, okay? And the Bible, we think, was constructed about 400 BC, around this time, okay? So there's a 600-year difference. So the Bible that we have was very different from the Bible that was first conceived, okay? So what's the structure of the Bible? The structure of the Bible is this. It's a history of the people of Israel, okay? Remember, Israel is a fake nation. It's a collection of different tribes, different peoples, and they need to make it as though it's one people. So they create a fake history, all right? So the fake history is Adam and Eve, then Noah, then Abraham, then Isaac, then Jacob, then Moses, then you get all the way to David, okay? All right? So this is a cosmology, an ordering of events, or a fake history. All right? And what this is doing is this. It's combining all the different tribes and groups of Israel together into one family history. Okay, so remember, you have the Egyptian priests, you have the missionaries, you have the nomads, you have the hill people. Okay? So Egyptian priests get explained away by Moses. That's why the Israelites go into Egypt, because they have the Egyptian influence, okay? Then you have the hill people. And the hill people come from different families. And what you do is you make them into one big family. So Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are all different part family. And when you combine the nation together, you make it as though it's one nation together, okay? So now, rather than Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are different families, it's like, no, Isaac is the son of Jacob, and Jacob is the son of Isaac, okay? All right, so this is the original Bible. And then what happened later on was then they added other stuff as well, okay? Poetry and rituals and all that, okay? Over time. Does that make sense? All right, good, great. Any more questions, guys?
I don't understand, like, why does the Bible kind of trying to embellish, like, kind of trying to make people believe that David is a very successful figure or something?
Oh, sorry, what's the question?
So the intention of the story about David is to use these stories to let the readers, the Israel people, to understand their culture, or is this just?
Okay, listen. Okay, so the Bible will change over time. Okay, this is really important to understand. What the Bible is changed over time because Israel becomes different over time, and we'll go over this next class. Oh, sorry, not next week. Okay, not next class. Next week. Okay. So what's happening now is, okay, you're David and you're Solomon, okay? So Solomon is the son of David who becomes king. All right, and there are people around you, okay? And they're gossiping, okay? Gossiping. They know what happened with Bathsheba. They know what happened with Abner. They're all gossiping. And that causes problems for the king, okay? It's like being in a village and everyone's talking behind your back. So what you do is you need to spin this, okay, or what we call public relations or media. You need to tell the story in a different way that makes the gossiping less bad, okay? So the gossiping right now is that David, he is ruthless, he killed Uriah because Uriah was a threat. Okay? Now, the problem with this story is that if people believe this story to be true, one, it's possible that Uriah's friends will want revenge for what happened, okay? It's also possible that a soldier tries to kill David, okay? Because David is clearly ambitious. So you change the gossip to like, oh, no. David was not ambitious. David is just a poet who fell in love with Bathsheba, okay? Now people think that David is just irresponsible, okay, infallible. But this is a lot better than people thinking that he's a ruthless killer. Because if people think that he's a ruthless killer, then I should be a ruthless killer as well. Okay? Now people are like, well, David, he's king, but he's not perfect. And he made a mistake, and we should forgive him. Because Yahweh, remember, the story of Yahweh is that he makes mistakes too, and we should forgive Yahweh as well. All right? Do you understand what's happening? Okay? This is what we call spin. Before it was like he killed Uriah, and therefore we should avenge Uriah, or it's okay to be violent. Now you switch the story to say, no, it was really about Bathsheba. And this is just really about, okay, you know what? People make mistakes. We should forgive him. Okay? And that's why the Bible was created in the way it was, to change the gossip around so that it would be less harmful. They both suck, okay? But everyone knows you killed Uriah. Now the question is, why did you do so? Okay? You don't want people thinking that, hey, David killed Uriah because he saw you as a threat. Because then people think, okay, then we know that David had to kill Saul as well. Okay? Now you have a huge problem on your hands. So you switch it like, no, it was just Bathsheba. Okay? Does that make sense?
So Bible is used like a tool to the Israel people to like kind of manipulate their values.
Okay, all right, listen. All right, very simple. Remember this, writing. What is writing? Writing does three things. First is legitimacy. Okay? To explain that this guy should be the king because that's the will of God. Second is unity. We are one family, guys. We have the same values. The third is differentiation. We're different from other people, okay? All right, differentiation is Yahweh is a God of forgiveness, a God of fallibility, but a God of reflection and debate and openness, okay? So our God is different from other gods. The Greek gods is pure vengeance. Our God is one of forgiveness, okay? He's good. Unity is we're just one family with one history, okay? And legitimacy is that David is a poet king, which is just like Yahweh, okay? That's why Yahweh favors him. Does that make sense? Okay, that's what the Bible was constructed initially to do, but over time, its nature will change. It's something we'll discuss as we go along. But when the Bible was first constructed, it was constructed as propaganda. But Yahweh is, okay, the Yahwehs, or the J, she uses opportunity to create beautiful stories that become living entities, living memories unto themselves, and they ignite the imagination of the Jewish people. And that's why the Jewish people are so creative. All right? All right? So, okay, and do you have any more questions? Okay, great. Okay, so we've done the Greeks, we've done the Jews. Next class, we'll do the Persians. Okay, and these are the three most creative peoples of this period. The Jews, the Greeks, and the Persians. And you can argue that it's these three people, the Jews, the Greeks, and the Persians, that are the pillars of Western civilization. Okay, so we will continue this next class.